sticky rib. Well, I've only got 2 of the little burners going on this fire. I'm trying to save gas. I'm trying to conserve the old gas is what I'm trying to do. It's going to be one of those days, I think, where, well, it's going to be one of those weeks. But I'm really behind on the videos. So usually I have, say, 10 videos all lined up, ready to go. But I have none now. they've all gone live. I don't have any left. So I need to go make some. I just haven't had the time. But remember I found this. It's quite obviously a pneumatic bin. I suspected it might have been a George, and my suspicions were true. All them pneumatic geeks have told me it was definitely from a George, possibly a 90s George, which is lovely. I don't have any use for it really, but I was thinking of several different things. I was going to buy a motor, a lid, or hat, or whatever you want to call it for it, and, you know, sell it. Sell it as a complete, or obviously buy a hose and a toolkit for it, and sell it as a working vacuum. Maybe just a dry vacuum, or possibly if I can get hold of a wet vacuum lid, you know, with a pump in it and everything. I'll get a little filter, and I could sell it as a George. I could always do that. So, but I did find the other day a lid. So I picked that up this morning because I left it. I stashed it in a bush. Picked it up this morning, so I'll go and have a look at that in a minute. It says Nuvac on it, so that's always a good sign. So I'm going to do that, and then all I need is a filter to put on there. Anyway, but I've got a lot of things to do this morning. I've got to pack up the old Ibasiak's Hoover Jr., which is in the box with the bubble wrap. I just need to take the handle off and wrap it all up nice and neatly for him, put it in that box, and get that sent off to him on Monday. Lovely. And yeah, we'll see what else today brings this morning, shall we? Got those 2 more tyres that need to be sold. I think someone's interested in it. This bike's going to be up for sale. All I've got to do now is just bolt that little kill switch back on there, and that'll be ready to go and away nicely. And someone, I dare say, some little kid will have a lot of fun on this. It's got a bit of a wet tyre for some reason. I think I oiled it. I think I oiled the train or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But we got this motor. This is a probably quite an old one. It was actually dripping. When I picked it up, Nuvac, when I picked it up, it was absolutely dripping. It's dusty on the inside because it was sitting like that in a scrap bin. Cool, that's going to be a good bit of packing. Lovely. Got some bags as well. Oh, yes. There it is, all packed up. All I've got to do is put a bit of packing on the top. I put packing on the bottom, put some packing on the top, and it's ready to go. To the old Ibasiak. If you're interested, once he puts the unboxing video up, or any video of this, or the Hoover Pure Power that I sent him, I'll put the links on them videos, on my videos, for his videos, and you can go and watch them. Simple as that. So that's what I'll do. Now let's have a look at this Nuvac. I'm on a group chat, and for the pneumatic geeks, and there was one of the guys bought one of these off of eBay. It looked very similar to this, so maybe he might have some parts for it. I'll do something to it. If I can't get it to work, I'll be alright. I don't know anything about the Nuvac ones, so maybe, I can't remember which one of them it was, but if his one didn't work, maybe I can get parts from him, get this one working, or something like that. To tell you the truth, if it doesn't work, I'm just going to bin it, because, well, I don't want something that doesn't work, do I? I'm not a bloody vacuum geek. So there we go. I've got this silver rod antenna that my friend old Matt gave to me, because I knew someone that wanted to start up in CB, and So I said, oh brilliant, you know, give it to me and I'll give it to him and he'll put it up. But now he's turned around. Well, we know who he is. He's Boxall Boy. But he's turned around now and said he doesn't want to do it anymore. Even after he bought a radio and everything, he's scared about putting an antenna up for some reason. So I've got this antenna sitting here. Now what I might do, I might put it up myself for the time being. Since I've got it sitting here, I'm sure old Mr. Matt won't mind, even though he gave it to me to give to someone else, but I'm sure he won't mind me putting it up and using it. Since I've got it sitting here, if anyone wants it, I can just take it down again. Simple as that. So I've got to find myself a couple of U brackets. Well, one U bracket. I've got nuts on that one. I've got to find one for this. And I've got some tubing. I might weld two bits together. Got this tubing here. It used to be a gate, but I cut the gate up. And it goes all the way down there, see? It's got a fair few lengths of it, and I cut the gate up. It's not scaffolding or nothing, it's not extra thick or strong, but it'll be alright to put as a small mast if I just maybe have one or two together perhaps. That'd be alright. I could stick it on the side of the shed there. I might do that. The problem is I've got so many things I'd like to do or so many things I can do, but then there's other things stopping me from doing them. Like, I'd like to get that moped running, but it might seem like I have endless time. I don't have endless time. By the time I set up and try and mess about with it, I'm going to have to go out. LVS Performance. Love it. If you're in England and you're in the southeast England and you need your car either hooked up with a few performance parts of all kinds, or you just need it to be serviced or whatever, search LVS on Facebook. It's my mate. Either that or go on localvehiclesolutions.co.uk and check him out. Good guy, good prices. Oh yeah, LBS Performance underneath YouTube. Well, that's all completely fucked on the inside of there. Don't know what that's supposed to do. But that's all broken. It's all broken there. So it's going to need a new sort of top. Sort of needs a new top to it if it works. Probably anyone that's going to want it's probably going to want it to have a new top on it. So this is what we've got on the inside of here. You can still see it's a bit damp around here. I tried to drain most of the water out of it, but most of the water was coming from in there. So maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's not as bad as I first thought. Someone's had it apart in the past, because I can see the live wire on this switch is damaged. It's been pinched, which probably means it's probably gone all the way through. Oh no, it hasn't actually. I put a little bit of insulation tape around that and that'll do the trick there. I'm not going to go to extensive measures trying to get it to work, but somebody cut the cable off there for some reason. Now, I wonder if that means it blew up, so they cut the cable off of it so no one can try to use it and die, or if they cut the cable off because they just decided they didn't want it anymore. But if it was in the scrap bin, chances are, and it was on a builder's yard, so the chances are they've blown it up, cut the cable off to save the cable because they wanted to use the cable like I do with everything, and, you know, chuck this in a skip. So, don't know really, but I've got a couple of cables here. I've got an old Kirby cable, I think it's a Legend 2 cable, a black one though, it's not an original Legend 2 cable, it might have been a thingamajig cable. Or I've got this cable here. Now, the problem that I have, it's got a neutral and earth and alive, whereas I think I chopped this cable off of an old Hoover, which only has neutral and live, so I can't use that cable. So it's going to be a case of trying to salvage a cable from somewhere. Where have I got cables? I've got some cables up there. I've got a box of cables somewhere down there. I'm going to go through that little box of cables, see if I can find a nice cable for it. I was actually looking back on that chat to try and find the picture, because they put a picture of the one that they were bidding on, trying to find it. and it actually looks identical to this. So chances are, if this doesn't work, and whoever it was that bought the other one of them on that group chat, I think they bought it, they'll have some parts for it, either that or they'll want it, whatever. But it'd be nice for me to actually get one working, because I'm always too lazy, man. I always get these broken Henrys or pneumatics or whatever I end up getting. I always get them broken, take them apart about this far, and then get bored. Which is, well, that's just me. But it'd be nice to get it going. So I'll stick a cable on it and see if it explodes. Sweet. Well, would you believe it? I've got 2 cables here that I'd nicked off other vacuum cleaners that I'd scrapped. This one also only has a neutral and a live. So does this one. There we go. So, what a bit of a pain. I've got to try and find one with the bloody earth on it. Ah, oh, mate, I might just do away with the earth. Yeah, actually, sorry, I'm not going to bother with the earth. Let's chuck an old neutral and live one on it and see what happens, shall we? Actually, second thought. So I was just getting the cable ready and prepared to stick it in it. But I thought I'd better not. I'd better do it properly, because I want it to work properly. It will still work properly, but if I go and sell it and it ain't got an earth on it and someone dies, I'd have to feel bad. So I'm gonna have to try and get some cable, buy a cable or something probably. But I'm gonna take that one off, so it's ready to go when I get a new one. And well, it's just gonna have to wait, innit? It's gonna have to be a waiting project. Wow, would you believe it? I've decided I'm going to leave that on there. Because I need to take it off, is there? I'll just get a new cable, I'll just bolt it on. Now, it's interesting, I've gone and looked back through the old chat on there, and they didn't bloody win it. They didn't win it. Whoever, I forget who it was, Pneumatic Collector or someone. They didn't win it. So, this is actually quite bad, because they're going to say, well, you bloody nicked it, didn't you? Oh no, because this looks identical to the one what they were trying to bid on. I was hoping I'd better get some information, but I have been chatting to them, and they say that this is a rare one, which is interesting. Oh, got myself a rare Nuvac. I wonder if it means it's worth more money. Hopefully it means it's worth a bit more money. And I don't know what bin it's supposed to have on it, but I don't really care. So I'm going to chuck it on that George bin and buy a hose and a floor nozzle and a couple of tubes and just be done with it, man. I'm just going to sell it like that. Just going to get myself a bit of cable and I'll be away. Oh, lovely. I'm well excited now. I can't see any other problems. It doesn't look burned in there. Doesn't seem to be any burnage or anything, you know. It doesn't smell of burning. It smells of, well, it smells of damp dog, to tell you the truth, because it was so wet in there. But hopefully if I dry it out enough, it'll work. And if that little water pump works, that'll be handy. Even if it doesn't work, I can take the pump off and use that for something. That'll come in handy. A nice water pump. Nice. It will be a pain if that. I'll put a bit of insulation tape around that little live wire that's damaged down there, and that'll be alright. If liquid is discharged from the exhaust, switch off and empty. My George says that. I never do. I like to make foam bubble baths in the living room. Sweet. That was the second cold start of this year, although it's not -7 anymore, it's about 3 degrees. Still started alright though. Well, since that's going to have to be on hold until I get some cable, I brought the old pallet truck in. I'm going to try and unseize them wheels and put a bit of oil in it so it'll pump and it might lift up. And once I've done that, I'm going to try and sell that. Sweet, don't know if I'll get that done this morning though, because I've got to go out, so.